Hello and welcome to the predictions video for 2016's Clash of Champions pay-per-view, the first ever edition of Clash of Champions, formerly known as Night of Champions. Now, usually on Sunday SmackTalk, I try and find at least 3 things to talk about. Today, there actually really hasn't been a lot going on in the world of WWE, so today I'm just going to stick to traditional predictions. For each match. I'm going to talk about each match. If anything, it allows me to talk about each match a little bit more, give my thoughts. Again, how I usually do things is I give my take on the match and the feud so far. I say what I think they should do with the match, and then I probably will give my prediction of what will actually happen. So let's not waste any time, and we're going to start off with Alicia Fox versus Nia Jax. Now, this match is probably going to be very straightforward unless they make the same mistake they made in the supposed old era with Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler, which that was different, but I think they should go with the expected outcome. I think everybody can universally agree Nia Jax needs to win this match. Nia Jax should win this match, and I'm just going to say Nia Jax is going to win this match. It's interesting what they're going to do with Nia Jax going forward. They're putting her with Alicia Fox, meaning they're kind of, I take it as they're trying to pull the trigger with her. Maybe no more squash matches, just, okay, you know what, let's go ahead and just start giving her regular matches. I think Emma, according to Emma's been cleared to compete for quite some time, quite a few weeks now. So I think once she gets through Alicia Fox, maybe the next person she runs into is Emma. If not, they're probably whoever wins the triple threat, which I will get to in just a matter of time here, going match by match down the card. Whoever wins the triple threat match for the women's championship, the Raw women's championship, which we all now have to get used to saying, they're probably going to get into a one-on-one feud with somebody else in that triple threat match. The odd woman out then may feud with Nia Jax or feud with Emma. So, who's to say? Regardless, I think it's a very good decision for Emma to join the Raw rankings. And once Paige is cleared, then she should join Raw as well. Just because I feel like SmackDown, SmackDown's 2 hours. They got 7 women on that roster. I've said it before. I've said it a bunch of times. I'm going to say it a bunch of times coming hereafter. I think they're good in terms of women, and they have a few different stories they can tell. They're already really intriguing me with the Alexa Bliss Becky Lynch match, which I wanted to see, but they stepped it up to a level I wasn't really even expecting. I thought this was, somewhat of a random pairing of Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch, but even though it was a match that I wanted, but they've shown that, SmackDown has a good team of writers and people in charge and calling the shots, and they also just let the talent do what they do best and prove that they can do what they do best. A lot of people may have been saying that Becky Lynch, couldn't really talk that well. She definitely proved that wasn't true last Tuesday. But the whole point of saying all that was to say, SmackDown Live has a good women's roster. They have 7 women. They can interweave a bunch of different stories. They're kind of not right now, which I don't really get, because there's definitely, they're doing the whole Nikki and Carmella thing, and that's fine. It doesn't really feel like that feud is picking up steam, though. It feels kind of stagnant. And then they're not really doing anything with Natalya and Naomi. They're just kind of the best friends of 2 people that are actually in a feud, which they got to watch out for that, because that was some of the stuff that dragged the women's division down in the supposed last era. But yeah, I think Emma and Paige are definitely headed to Raw. They should be headed to Raw. And then maybe once Emma gets back, there's something to do with Dana Brooke and Charlotte, or maybe, oh, that's my phone. Maybe there's something to do with Nia Jax, but I think Nia Jax is definitely taking this win in the kickoff show. Then we move on to, I guess, Bleacher Report isn't the final say on the match card and the order of the matches, but I actually wouldn't mind seeing the Cruiserweight Championship first. It's a good way to open a show. This is our first time seeing TJ Perkins. A lot of people have voiced their opinions on the fact that, we should have seen TJ Perkins in the Cruiserweight Championship on Raw, but now, through not seeing it on Raw and through that kind of, cluster something, we are now, it's being effectively saved for the pay-per-view. Now all of a sudden it feels special because we haven't seen it. So even when Raw kind of messes up, sometimes things work out for the better. I'm excited to see this match just because I haven't really seen the Cruiserweight. Well, I haven't seen the Cruiserweight Classic. Even though the Cruiserweights definitely you could sense they were a little bit on edge. They were a little nervous. The crowd was kind of dead through most of the match last Monday. But I loved seeing the Cruiserweights, and I think they're going to do a great job. They're not always constantly jumping around, and it's not all flash. So I think they're adapting to the WWE style pretty well. Can't wait to see Cedric Alexander. He's right now my favorite amongst the Cruiserweights. Then again, I haven't seen TJ Perkins. I also really liked Rich Swann. I hope they don't job him out too much. But I think this was ultimately the right call to have Brian Kendrick be the first one challenging TJ Perkins. Oh, there it is again. Because, the crowd has some history with them. We've obviously lost and gained fans over the years, but there is a bit of history with the Brian Kendrick. I feel weird. Yeah, I don't know what, are they dropping the Brian Kendrick? Because I wouldn't mind if they kept that, actually. I think that's a nice little thing that nobody else is doing right now. Nobody's really done the whole preposition thing since, like, The Rock and talking about himself in third person. I thought that was a good thing. But in terms of the match, I can't really say much because, again, I didn't watch a Cruiserweight Classic. I've only seen Brian Kendrick in the one match on Raw. Haven't seen TJ Perkins at all. However, I think it'd be really weird if they took the title off Perkins this quickly. So, again, it's another given back-to-back. First Nia Jax and now this match. I really think TJ Perkins is going to take this one. I think it's going to be a good match, and not through lack of trying on Brian Kendrick's part. I think it's going to be a really great match, a really great start to the match. And I would say that match could have the potential of stealing the show, if not for, again, according to Bleacher Report, being followed by Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho. Now, this one is a little bit more difficult to call, just because, Sami's really in need of a win, hence why he's going up against Chris Jericho, who's done the job for so many people at this point. At the same time, Chris Jericho has done the job for a lot of people, and they may let him walk away with this one. It could be due to shenanigans, or, it could just, him being a wily veteran and outthinking his opponent, and building up this kind of frustration angle with Sami Zayn that I thought they were kind of going with. I don't know if they're still going with it, but I think they are. So, in my opinion, I would like to see Sami Zayn win. However, it would make sense for them to give Chris Jericho the kind of underhanded victory to start off this feud and to give him some momentum, and then have Sami Zayn win the second match, and then, have Sami ultimately win the feud with the rubber match. So my official prediction is going to go to Chris Jericho. Now, the best of 7 series finale, Cesaro versus Sheamus. a lot of people are actually kind of split on this. A lot of people think Sheamus is going to end up winning. I think it would be really weird if they were to have Sheamus win, personally. Just because it has been, they're building the story so much of Cesaro coming from behind, Cesaro having the injury. They could give, Sheamus that excuse give Cesaro that excuse of why he would lose. Because, you could point to, Cesaro's back was injured. That's why he couldn't pull it out this one last time. And it would give Sheamus some heat as a heel. But ultimately, I don't know. I feel like you don't really need it in this case. I feel like this best of 7 series should have, kind of that fairy tale ending. Have the babyface come from behind, come back from injury, and win it all. And then let's not forget that there's a championship opportunity at stake here, which really Cesaro should win and not Sheamus. What does this mean for Sheamus after the best of 7 series? You know what? I don't really know. I think there's something for Sheamus to do, though. That's why, if Sheamus loses this match, not a lot is lost. There's something for Sheamus to do. If Cesaro loses this match and this series, it really says a lot. And, you kind of got to get fed up at a certain point with the frustration level with Cesaro and how they're treating him. So, my official pick is going to go to Cesaro for the best of 7 series. And now we move along to the Raw Tag Team Championships. I honestly think they should have named these titles something else. Come on. I miss the days when we had World Championship on one show and WWE Championship on another show. I kind of thought that's where they were going when they made the WWE World Heavyweight Championship just the WWE World Championship. And they kind of shortened it. I think that was more so to get rid of weight classes because that doesn't really mean anything unless you're talking about the cruiserweights. With all that said, something's got to give here, I feel like. Because, and this has been a feud that should have been a barn burner, had all the heat in the world, should have been red hot, but they just dropped the ball so hard on this. Giving the club the stupid doctor gimmick, and, New Day has kind of been stagnant for a while. It's, why put jokesters against jokesters? They should have come up against, they should have went up against a really badass team in the club that's traveled the world. They're veterans. They could have, Kofi's no spring chicken, but, they could have had that storyline where the club has been all around the world. They know all the tricks in the book. They've learned from all these different people, and they're now coming in and, these kind of more upstart, younger, I don't know about younger. I don't know about the ages, but, they could have went that route, and they could have still had New Day be the cocky champions that we all know and love, and had the club be the, they don't have to be stern. They don't have to be, boring. But really, old farts. Really? In terms of calling the match, in terms of, what should happen, the club has no heat. They have no heat. The crowd, they are not over with the crowd, really, at all, in my opinion. And that's due directly to creative. That's creative's fault, because the club should be over. They should be wildly over. They should have all the heat in the world. They're two really talented guys that have been all around the world. They came in with all the heat in the world, and they had all the heat with AJ Styles when they were the club. But honestly, the New Day should retain. The New Day should retain. And you know what? I think the New Day will retain just because I think they're going to try and break that record. I think if anyone is going to take these titles off New Day, it should be Enzo and Cass. And maybe that sparks a heel turn for New Day. Maybe it sparks a heel turn for Enzo and Cass. Maybe they swerve us. But right now, see, those two theories, those two predictions are already way more interesting than the club as they are right now having the titles. So my official pick is going to New Day for the tag team championships. The Raw Women's Championship match, well, it really shouldn't be Bayley. I'm just going to put that out there. She's way too new. It's way too soon. That's a WrestleMania moment type title win. Her first Raw Women's Championship title win should be a much bigger deal, either at a Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, like I said, but not here. Not the very first championship opportunity she gets. In my opinion, there should only be two ways this goes. Either keep it safe, play it safe, keep it on Charlotte, and then you could even have Sasha and Bayley have their own thing, or you could say it's due to interference on a returning Emma, or Nia Jax makes an appearance and have it split off into one of those types of things. Basically, you could either play it safe and keep the belt on Charlotte, or you turn Sasha heel on Bayley and have her win the title, and then have Sasha and Bayley have a thing. But then, Charlotte gets a rematch. But I don't know anymore, because apparently, it was somehow questionable that Sasha Banks was going to get this match. Do they just not care about rematch clauses? I guess they just don't care about rematch clauses. I mean, we wouldn't even care if, just get the rematch out of the way on Raw and it's spoiled somehow, leading to a triple threat. But, I mean, she gets a rematch clause. What's up with that? They're trying to make it seem like Sasha wasn't going to get a championship match. I go, that's weird. That's stupid. My official pick for this match, I think they're just going to keep it on Charlotte. I think at this point, it's too soon for Bayley. I feel like if they were going to keep it on Sasha, honestly, they should have just kept it on Sasha through SummerSlam. Yeah, she needed to take a break to heal up, but I mean, have somebody attack her backstage, write her off for a few weeks or something, because she wasn't even gone that long. She's back the very next pay-per-view. So, people have done this before, I don't know. But honestly, I feel like they kind of halted her momentum, and she needs to build it back now. She shouldn't just automatically get the belt back. So I'm going with Charlotte for my official pick. I don't know where that takes her thing with Dana Brooke, but that's my pick. Roman Reigns versus Rusev. Now, this is one that I'm actually this is probably the hardest one to call for me personally, just because it's a really big thing of what I want to happen and what I think will happen. And those two ideologies are kind of butting heads in my brain. What I think should happen is that Rusev should win dirty, or should lose on some technicality like count out or DQ or something like that. And then Roman gets the belt at some other time. Because right now, this feud has no heat. They really just kind of remembered that Roman and Rusev were in a feud and went, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, just put them in a match. It doesn't feel important enough for Rusev's title reign to just end. Then again, at the same time, what has happened throughout Rusev's title reign? When you really think about it, his title reign hasn't been that great. But then you also think a dominant win against Roman Reigns, or even a cowardly win against Roman Reigns, would give him some sort of momentum. And then it means more when Roman takes it at some point down the road. Now, people are talking about a double turn or at least Reigns turning heel. I doubt it. If they didn't pull that trigger on SummerSlam, they're probably not gonna. Because SummerSlam was a perfect opportunity to go ahead and just pull that switch, pull that trigger. It felt like they were flirting with it in that Fatal 4-Way for the Universal title a few weeks back, but Reigns is staying face, and really he has no reason to turn heel, so don't just turn him for no reason, even though fans are begging for him to turn heel. Why? I'm not 100% sure, because it needs to make sense. It needs to make sense as to why he would turn heel. It's not to win this championship, because this feud has been built very terribly, and that it doesn't even seem like Roman wants this championship. I feel like he just wants to fight Rusev, which is backwards, because Rusev should want to fight Reigns. Like, this feud has been so backwards and so weird and topsy-turvy and stop and start, and it just... Ugh. So, my ultimate prediction, at least for right now, is for Rusev to keep the title. Just because, again, similar to what I said earlier with... who did I say it with? I think I said it with New Day. There's just not enough momentum. There's not enough fuel to this fire in this feud to warrant a title change right now. Plus, it doesn't even seem like Roman wants the title. Maybe if we had built up the feud a little bit more and showed that, Roman wants this title. This is a desirable championship, and Roman wants it and is going to go through Rusev. That's different. Then maybe I go, okay, you know what? Roman looks like he's going to win it. But honestly, and plus you got to remember, Roman's already beat Rusev. He doesn't really need to do it again. Rusev has not beat Roman so far. So right now, Rusev kind of needs that win, and then maybe they have a rubber match at what's the next one? Survivor Series? I think so. I'm not gonna check that right now. But in any case, my pick is with Rusev, and then the Universal Championship match, they gotta keep it on Owens. Otherwise, that just ruins KO's credibility, in my opinion. He's complete transitional champ. He's complete paper champion. And also, Seth Rollins as a face is a chaser. Right now, it's way too soon to put a title on him. Way, 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 way too soon. He's going to be the Stone Cold Steve Austin of this supposed new era. We literally heard him say, I'm going to, tear this regime down to the ground. I'm going to destroy your new Raw and blah, 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 blah. You don't put the championship on him that quick right after that. You make him chase that championship. Maybe you have him get screwed over a few times. Maybe now Stephanie is going to start screwing him over. But you keep, again, this is another thing, just like Bayley. Keep that title off Seth until at least WrestleMania. Because anything before that, and it's just not going to feel special enough. It's going to feel like a weird shift in momentum and a weird waste of momentum. I honestly, Seth Rollins as a babyface by WrestleMania time should be red hot unless they really F it up in terms of booking and creative. Which, honestly, with creative's track record, I'm not I'm not all that confident that they're going to keep him red hot. But I have enough faith in Seth to where he, as a performer, will do his job. I'm hoping creative does their job. But as for Clash of Champions 2016 Universal Championship match, I got to go with KO. It can be due to a dirty win or underhanded tactics. Maybe Triple H sticks his big nose back in, back in Seth's business, and leading to a match at Survivor Series, if that is the next pay-per-view. Yes, take my money, or, save that match for like a Royal Rumble. But then again, I kind of want Seth in the Royal Rumble. Maybe he pulls double duty, but as long as Seth is in the Royal Rumble, I'm fine. I can't wait for the Royal Rumble now, because I just remembered now that's going to be a cross brand pay-per-view, meaning that whoever wins the Royal Rumble gets to choose which championship again. I miss those days. I miss the drama of that stuff. Like, you get your pick of which champion you want to challenge for. Oh, I like that. In any event, these are my predictions for Clash of Champions 2016. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe to the video if you enjoyed it. And until next time, I'm your resident marksman, your professional psychopath, #future WWE champion, TJT, and I'll talk to you guys next time.